Number 3 in numerology does not walk, it performs. It does not merely exist, it expresses, embellishes, narrates, and sometimes exaggerates life itself, because this number is ruled by Jupiter, the great guru, the cosmic teacher, the expander of wisdom, philosophy, and meaning. And so wherever number 3 appears, there is a certain largeness of spirit, a tendency to see life not as a problem to solve, but as a story to tell. People born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th, or those strongly influenced by this vibration, carry within them a natural inclination toward communication, creativity, and intellectual play. They are the ones who can turn a mundane afternoon into a lively discussion, a dull room into a stage, and a simple idea into a grand vision. Yet before you start admiring them too quickly, understand this. Number 3 is not just about charm and laughter. It is also about discipline disguised as freedom, because Jupiter, despite its expansive nature, is also the planet of wisdom earned through structure, learning, and responsibility. These individuals often have a curious paradox within them. They crave freedom of expression, yet they thrive only when guided by a certain framework, much like a classical dancer who appears spontaneous on stage, but is in fact deeply rooted in years of rigorous training. And if they neglect this discipline, their energy scatters like ink spilled on water. Beautiful, yes, but ultimately wasted. Psychologically, number 3 represents the conscious mind in action, the ability to think, articulate, analyze, and communicate ideas with clarity and flair, which is why these people often excel in fields like writing, teaching, acting, public speaking, marketing, storytelling, and any domain where words, ideas, and performance intersect. Yet their greatest strength can quietly become their greatest trap. The tendency to talk more than they act, to plan more than they execute, to dream in vibrant colors, but hesitate when it comes to grounding those dreams into reality. Socially, they are often loved, admired, even envied for their wit, humor, and ability to uplift others. But there is a subtle loneliness that sometimes shadows them, the pressure to always be on, always interesting, always inspiring, as if silence itself might betray their identity, and so they must learn, at some point, that their worth does not depend on constant performance. In relationships, number 3 brings joy, playfulness, and intellectual companionship. They flirt with ideas as much as with people, and they seek partners who can match their mental agility and appreciate their expressive nature. But their shadow emerges when they become inconsistent, emotionally superficial, or avoid deeper commitments in favor of fleeting excitement. Because while they can speak beautifully about love, they must learn how to sit quietly within it without needing to decorate it constantly. From a spiritual and symbolic perspective, number 3 has always been sacred across traditions. The Trinity, the Triad, the balance of creation, preservation, and transformation, echoing concepts like Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva in Indian philosophy, or mind, body, and spirit in holistic frameworks. And this gives number 3 individuals a natural affinity toward higher knowledge, philosophy, and teaching, even if they themselves do not initially recognize it. They are often drawn toward wisdom traditions, scriptures, or intellectual exploration, not necessarily out of discipline at first, but out of curiosity that slowly matures into understanding. However, let's not romanticize them too much. The shadow side of number 3 is where the mask cracks. Scattered energy, lack of focus, procrastination disguised as creative process, overindulgence in pleasure, arrogance rooted in intellectual pride, and a subtle avoidance of responsibility, especially when things become too serious or demanding. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Many number 3 individuals fail not because they lack talent, but because they underestimate the importance of consistency, believing that brilliance alone will carry them forward, which it rarely does. Physically and energetically, Jupiter-dominant personalities tend toward expansion in every sense: big ideas, big appetites, big ambitions. And if unbalanced,
this can manifest as excess, whether in food, lifestyle, or even ego. But when balanced, this same expansive quality turns into generosity, optimism, and a contagious enthusiasm that can uplift entire groups of people. The real journey of number 3 is not to become more creative, they already are, but to become more grounded, to take their vibrant inner world and build something tangible from it, something that lasts beyond applause and admiration. Because when a number 3 individual aligns their creativity with discipline, their expression with purpose, and their intellect with humility, they evolve into true teachers, not necessarily in classrooms.